Job seekers, I want to share with you the number one thing that I see getting in the way of a successful job search. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'm going to share my tips on how to overcome this block and actually land the job you love. Hey there, Shannon from Shinebright Coaching, and we created this channel to provide resources, tools, and tips from our 10 years of coaching our clients to successful career transitions and finding more meaning and fulfillment in their career. So welcome. Okay, so there's a lot of components that actually make for a successful job search, right? Having a really nice resume, having a clear target, right? The role, the company, the industry that you want to be working in, being able to successfully network, having a clear brand, right? Your defining contribution, the value that you distinctly bring. Even with all those things in place, this is the one thing that I see consistently getting in people's way from having a successful job search, and that is mindset. Stick with me. I know this can be frustrating because it's really easy to just want to think, if I just have a great resume and if I just have, the company I want to target, that's all I need in order to, have a successful job search. And I want to say that over the years, I see the same thing tripping people up over and over and over again. And that is not being able to keep a healthy and strong mindset throughout the job search. Now listen, a job search, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be at the executive level, the C-suite level, have been in the job game for many years, and a job search brings out insecurities, it brings out stress, it brings out fears of scarcity. Is anyone going to like me? Are there enough opportunities? I don't know anyone who doesn't struggle with those thoughts throughout a job search. And then the actual time and energy of being diligent and consistent and, doing the work every day to have a successful job search. It's tough. And it's tough on our energy. It's tough on our mindset. And I think not having a clear strategy as to how you can navigate those challenges and not allow the negative mindset to take over and really drive your job search is the number one key, I believe, to really having a successful search and being able to land a job and the job that you actually want. So here's what I see happening oftentimes. So the stressors of a job search, which are normal, you're not alone, come up, right? Maybe people aren't responding. You've applied to 20 jobs with no response. You finally get an interview and you don't get the job, or you're just feeling like you don't even know how to go about the job search or, where to even start. So there's so many factors that can contribute to getting us stuck in a negative mindset. And here's the thing too, we have, as humans, we're wired towards a negativity bias. If you haven't heard this term, we all got it, right? We were wired from, back in the day when really being aware and focused on what could go wrong or how we could get harmed or even killed by a lion, a tiger, a bear was the number one concern. And so our brain is wired to be looking out for danger, harm, those things that could get in our way and hurt us. Back in the day, it kept us alive, right? So it was really important. But as our world has evolved, right, in the modern world, we're not actually in danger of being killed on an everyday basis. And so this hyper focus on what could go wrong or what's going wrong or, how we're falling short or whatever could possibly be negative in our sphere of, vision is actually harmful. It actually gets in our way because it keeps us from seeing possibility, what's going right, and it keeps us stuck in a negative mind loop of this is going wrong, I'm falling short, this is never going to work, there's no opportunities. And what we focus on expands and grows. You've all had this experience, right? Where you wake up and something annoys you, right? Maybe you ran out of coffee or your dog had an accident in the house and the day just starts off on a bad tone And then all of a sudden you're driving to work and people are cutting you off, and everywhere you look, you see annoyance, frustration. You get to work, people are bugging you, right? It's like what we're focused on or what we kind of have in the forefront of our mind tends to just repeat, and we see it everywhere. And the opposite's true too, right? We have a good start to the day, we're feeling energized, maybe we have a good workout, whatever, sets your tone in a positive way. Then everything else feels like it kind of flows a little more easily, or we feel a little more hopeful, or we have a little bit more energy for, the stressors that are going to come throughout the day. Someone tries to cut us off and we think, oh, maybe, they're in a hurry, and that's okay, right? We're not so easy to get frustrated. So it's this idea that what we're focused on colors our experience. So back to the job search, if we're bringing a negative bias to the job search, meaning we don't ever think we're going to find something, or we're, saying over and over, there's no opportunities out there, or, maybe it's inwardly focused. I fall short. I'm not good enough. No one's ever going to hire me. If those are the thoughts that we're looping over and over as we're navigating our job search, guess what? That's the experience we're going to have. We're going to feel like no one is wanting to hire us. We're not getting responses. We are going to feel insecure in an interview, right? The negative energy is going to follow us through every piece of our job search. And so being aware of when you're stuck in a negative bias or a negative mindset and it's coloring every aspect of your job search, you want to just take a step back. And again, I'm not trying to say that a job search isn't hard or that there's going to be challenging aspects, but over and over again, the people I see who have a successful search, who land the jobs that they're after, who are able to rise to the top in a competitive marketplace, are able to manage that mindset. And when the stressors show up or the challenges arise, they get disappointed, they might be upset, or get knocked off their game for a day, but they have some tools and resources in their back pocket that allow them to be resilient and get back to the search and access their positive mindset again. And what that allows them to do is to bring more energy, to feel hopeful, to rather than focusing on, I only got out of 20 emails that I sent for networking requests, I got one response, and be excited about that response and show up fully and present to that conversation, or allowing themselves to get excited about the 2 callbacks that they get out of the 50 out of the 50 applications that they sent out, right? And it keeps a momentum of positivity, of hopefulness, of the possibility that the job is out there and that they're going to find it. They're also practicing some resiliency around, knowing their strengths, not ignoring their weaknesses, but really having an understanding of the value that they bring. And all of these factors of really strengthening a positive and healthy mindset allows them to ride the waves of a stressful job search more easily, right? To not let the stress overcome them, to get back on the horse when it feels hard. And I promise you, this is the key to a successful job search. So here's some tips. If you're feeling stuck in that negative place, I get it, but I want to share some things that, over the years I've learned, I've shared with my clients that can help you to begin to get out of that negative loop and begin to access a bit of a more positive, strong mindset to help you to weather the ups and downs of a job search. So here they are. The first one, a powerful pause. So this takes some self-awareness. So this is being able to notice the difference between a moment of disappointment, right? Maybe you get a rejection letter, or you realize that, the 5 people that you sent networking requests to didn't respond this week, and being stuck in a negative mind loop for days or weeks at a time. Moments of disappointment or frustration are normal. It's okay. Getting stuck there and overplaying, this is so hard, this is never going to happen, there's no opportunities, I'm falling short. If you can notice when it turns from a moment or a brief period of time of disappointment to never-ending loops of negativity, take a pause, step back, right? Notice I'm stuck, right? That negativity bias is in full gear and I need to take a pause. And in that pause, when we can take a break, we can actually widen our lens of perspective, right? When we're really hyper-focused on something negative or the hard parts of something, our view gets really narrow. And so if we take a pause and just say like, wow, I'm really stuck in some negativity right now, can I take a break? And either, taking a break from the job search, getting outside for a day, even, this sounds silly, but I can tell you it really makes a difference. Like looking up to the sky when you're outside and recognizing like, okay, the world is still spinning, right? There's more things happening in my world and in my life than this job search. And I'm so hyper-focused and in a negative rut right now. Can I see anything else, right? Is there anything else happening that can help me to have a different perspective? Can I just take a break for a moment to kind of recharge or reset, get outside, take a walk, rest, whatever you need to, reset your nervous system and then come back to the job search after you've been able to shift your perspective a little bit. Second piece of advice, gratitude. So I know that this can be a little cliche, and gratitude has had, its ups and downs of popularity over the years. But when I say gratitude, what I mean is there's actually now research through neuroscience and brain imaging that shows that practicing noticing what is good or what, brings you pleasure or small wins or small moments rewires our brain to start to see possibility, hope. It breeds resiliency. It allows us to manage the stressors that come with daily living and especially a job search. And so what I often really encourage my clients to do is at the end of every day, note 3 things, or if you can't think of 3, note 1 thing that went well. So whether that's you checked everything off your task list for the day, you pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone and you sent a few networking requests or informational interview requests, you applied to, the amount of jobs that you said out you were going to do, maybe you did some company research, or maybe you got 1 response out of the 20 emails you sent. Right? Noticing where there's some energy, where some good is happening, allows you to have an actual fuller perspective of your experience at hand. If we're just looking at the negative, we're actually missing other things that are also happening. So again, widening that lens of perspective, taking time to note like, hey, I'm actually pretty proud of this, or this went well today, or I made some progress in this area, and allowing yourself to note that fuels momentum, gives you energy to keep going, and allows you to have a healthier perspective and look at the job search as, a thing that has both downs and ups. The third thing that I recommend, self-care. Again, another thing that can get a bad rap, and I don't mean, getting your nails done or massages. What I mean is recognizing that a job search is hard. It's stressful. It has ups and downs that can be really hard for our nervous system to weather if we're not taking really good care of ourselves. Now, self-care is unique to every individual out there. So these are the practices that you're putting in place every day that allow you to have energy, to access that positive mindset, to be resilient, to manage stress, and to have the energy you need to do what you need to do in a job search. So this could look like getting good sleep, right? Getting the amount of sleep for you that allows you to feel energized. Exercise, moving your body, right? Getting those good serotonin flowing through our body and feeling good, right? Those feeling good hormones. Eating well, right? Eating to fuel you, getting outside every day. Also, doing things other than a job search. It can be so easy to get very myopic around, okay, I need a job, so everything, every waking hour needs to be about getting this job. But you want to be able to show up to every conversation, every networking conversation, informational interview, actual interview with energy, feeling like your tank is full. And so that means that you have to spend time with the people you love, do the things that make you happy, enjoy moments of your day. Don't just turn your life into a job search. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, giving yourself the fuel that you need in order to stay the course, to stay consistent and diligent with the job search and ride the waves that any job search brings with it. And then lastly, support. So this looks like a lot of different things, but what I see often is that when people are in a job search, they can tend to isolate. They feel sometimes a bit of shame around, I shouldn't have to be in this position, or everyone else has it figured out, or maybe there's something wrong with me because I'm in a job search, and that can't be more untrue. All of us go through transitions in our career at different points. All of us are going to be in a job search at one time or another, and this isn't something that you have to do alone. I know over time what I've been able to see is when a job seeker has support, whether that's their partner, whether that's other people who are going through the process with them. In our Land a Job You Love group coaching, our community of job seekers find so much encouragement and motivation and support in being able to go through that process with other people, to know that they're not alone, to know that they are not the only one who's on a quest to find that next job that feels fulfilling to them. Working with a coach, right? This is what we do with our clients, is we walk with them through the job search process, making sure that they feel like they're not alone, offering support, feedback, guidance, anything that they need. So when it gets hard, you're not doing it alone. But this doesn't mean you have to work with a coach. You can create your own community, right? Making sure that you're talking to your friends, you're talking to family, you're sharing your wins, you're sharing progress. You have outlets for when it feels hard. There's other people who've been through similar things and they're sharing their experience with you too. It can make all the difference to have that support in place when you're going through a job search. So those are my tips. Those are, the 4 ways that I suggest really putting into place a healthy, resilient mindset so that as you're going through a job search, as you're navigating the ups and downs and it gets hard or it gets frustrating or you're feeling like, is this ever going to happen? You are already ahead of the game. You already have practices and structures and support in place that allow you to ride those waves, to be resilient, to get back up when you get disappointed, and to stay consistent with your job search so that you can actually land that job and find some fulfillment from your career. So I hope that was helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and I hope you come back for more. Thanks for being here. Take care.